Welcome to Downshift. My name is Matt, and this is one of the coolest cars to come out of Germany. This, of course, is Audi's latest iteration of their RS7. It is their twin-turbo V8 fire-breathing super sedan dripping with style and joie de vivre, you could say. And thanks to our friends at Audi Milwaukee, today we're going to show you all of the things that make this car special. Let's do it. First thing I want to talk about, and one of my favorite points here, is the engine. And it's super cool and unique. It's not unique in the sense that it's different from anything else, but it's unique in the sense that it's shared among some of the most high profile and prestige performance vehicles there are. It's the same engine that you get in a Porsche Panamera Turbo, Cayenne Turbo, Lamborghini Urus, Bentley Bentayga, and Audi's own RSQ8, RS6, and the SQ7. It's the 4-liter twin-turbocharged V8. Here it's making 591 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. And that going through the 8-speed gearbox into all 4 wheels means 0 to 60 is done in just 3.5 seconds. And I suppose if you care about this sort of thing, you get 17 mpg combined. But let's say you're not familiar with what an RS7 is. Let's cover it. The Audi RS7 and RS6 are twins within the lineup, essentially. They're kind of the same size, and they have the same engines, and really it's just kind of the body style that's different. There is no more wagon competing from AMG with the E63, and the new E63 is going to be a 4-cylinder, and there's never been a wagon version of an M5 here in the US, but this 7 is kind of a tapered liftback, so it kind of splits the difference between sedan and wagon. So you have max practicality from a trunk while still retaining a sloped, sexy roofline. But if you do want a wagon, Audi will happily sell you an RS6 Avant. This thing is fast, but it's also loud. RS cars get the big dual oval exhaust back here, while the S cars get smaller quad tips. But this thing just sounds epic, this 4-liter V8. We did a video on social media recently where we compared the exhaust tones between an AMG, an M car, and an RS car, and I think I have to say, I might have liked the Audi the best. And one of my favorite details, you can see you have a little brake here, and that's because you have a mobile or dynamic spoiler back here. It's really cool. It'll deploy over certain speeds, but you can also go into your center infotainment system, hit this button here, and then it pops right up. Pretty sweet. I do like the way that it looks with the wing up. The suspension, you have air suspension as standard, which is super nice because it gets real stiff and planted in a corner in sport or dynamic mode. And then when you want it to relax in comfort mode and have it just be an A7 or a luxury car, it does that better than the AMG and the M car as well. Really like the driving package on here, and you also get rear steer. But then look at these wheels. These are the 22-inch wheels, huge by the way, look fantastic. They've got a nice kind of dimpled pattern on the spokes, which is kind of cool. But they're part of the black optics package, and they're noticeably the only things on the car that aren't black. Something that is black though is the brake calipers, aside from the actual RS logo, and you do get Audi Sport on the interior rim. And this car is equipped with a package that I see pretty much all S and RS cars coming onto the lot with, and that's the black optics package. Blacks out the rings, blacks out all of the exterior details, window treatments, wing mirrors, rocker panels, the whole thing. Everything is black and incognito spec for this RS7. But then one of my favorite things, and the party piece, and one of the reasons you get an RS7 is because you have the sexy sloped liftback, but you also have hatchback practicality. I mean, this is a huge, huge, huge trunk. It goes super far back. 40, 20, 40 splitting seats. I love this. I mean, this is way more trunk space than you're gonna get in an E63 or an M5. This is fantastic. If you do need more cargo space for whatever reason, Audi again will sell you their RS6 Avant, which will just give you a little bit more space higher up. But then we move up to the rear seats. And they're gorgeous. Again, all black, very incognito spec, but look at this. Exposed carbon fiber weave, very cool. I almost never see this. Excellent aluminums, classic RS stitching pattern, RS embossed into the seats. But I'm gonna step back here. I'm actually gonna step back on the driver's side because that's where I have the seat programmed to where I would sit at 6'1". So can I fit behind myself? And the answer is Yeah, I've got plenty of knee room. And then again, at 6'1", what you worry about with this sort of roofline is headroom. But I still have plenty of headroom here. You've got a nice thoughtful cutout here. It's perfectly good. And then of course, when I turn the car on, you'll see that you do have heated rear seats for both sides. You do have a climate zone for this side as well as for that side. And when it's dark, which you can't see now, this will light up. So it'll be easier to plug in your seatbelt. But not to be outdone, of course, we talk about the front seats then. Again, same quilting pattern, nice contrasted white or gray stitching, RS embossed into the seat itself, heated, cooled, of course, and you can get massage seats up here in the front as well. So Audi kind of gets dinged in terms of being overly subtle with its exterior designs and specs, but one of the things they never disappoint on is the lighting package. The headlight display here does a whole bunch of different dances. It's going to be difficult to display it here, but it looks fantastic. We've also got dynamic LEDs, so they swivel, and you can get digital matrix headlights, which will project stuff onto the ground in tandem with your navigation. And your taillights are a full width bar, but they have very similar little individual fangs, and they too will do a bunch of different dances when you approach and leave the car. And then as we touch on the interior design, it's gonna sound a bit like a broken record if you've watched any of our recent Audi videos, but what that means is it's still fantastic. The leather work, the stitching, the alloys, and some of the ambient light integration into here. You've got exposed carbon fiber. Again, I don't think I've seen this really anywhere, so this is really cool. But just the way that it integrates, the fact that I can take this and shake it as hard as I can and there's no creaks or rattles or anything. I mean, this is impressive workmanship. But then a weird thing, talking about the key, you see you get RS stamped in the back here. Now if you get like an equivalent BMW M key, it's just going to have M colors on the side rather than saying M on the back, and the AMG key gets a little bit of a unique treatment similar to this, but you've got a thoughtful little cubby here for your key. But then talking about your digital instrument cluster, now this isn't brand new, this isn't groundbreaking by any means, but it is one of the best in the business. This is Audi's virtual cockpit that they debuted a number of years ago. There's a bunch of different views that you can get, fuel economy, warnings, media, phone integration, and then nav. And you can make it bigger or smaller depending on what you want. You've got live readouts of power and torque. I mean, it's nice. All the stuff that you want to see right here. But then the companion screens are your infotainment or your media controls, and it's kind of split in the way that Audi has been doing it for a few years. The upper screen is dedicated to your media and your information. You've got things like your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You've got your 360 cameras with your 3D view that you can scan. Interestingly, the car isn't the same color. It's not programmed to be black with the black optics package, but you can see stuff. I can see this heinous Corolla behind me, or Camry, whatever it is. But then if I go into park, it just returns to its normal screen. And then your down here screen, or your lower screen I should say, is all of your climate and comfort stuff. You've got your heated and cooled seat, you've got your temperatures, auto fan settings, you can control your wing down here, you can turn the screen off if you want, and you can program little shortcuts. But the last thing we'll talk about, as it always is the price. Now this car that we're testing here is a 2023. A 2024 RS7, just for consistency's sake, will start at about $128,000. The RS6 variant will start at $2,000 cheaper at $126,000. And then its sister, I guess you could say, electric version, the e-tron GT, starts at $20,000 less than the 6 and $12,000 less than the RS7. So that's $106,000. And as far as BMW is concerned, the M5 is literally not on BMW's website right now. It is due for a new generation with a new hybridized V8, but as it stands right now, you can't even look at it. So we go on 2023 numbers, and that M5 starts at $110,000, so quite a bit cheaper. And the E63 AMG, at least for 2023 with a comparable twin-turbo V8, starts at $114,000. So this is an expensive proposition, but I suspect the new M5 and the new 4-cylinder E63 will be more expensive when we get into those new generations soon. So those are the 19 things that you need to know about the Audi RS7. Thank you again to our friends at Audi Milwaukee for making this video possible. And if you want to see more and how this car stacks up against its closest rivals, make sure you check out our channel because we've got our pro and con video up now. So we'll see you in that one.